going to San Felipe. Come on. Hi y'all. Today we are leaving Ensenada and going to San Felipe. Leaving Ensenada. On the way to San Felipe. My name is Freedom, and I travel with my dogs Pooperhead and Monkey. In this video, Pooperhead is on the left and Monkey is on the right. Please watch this video until the end, where we are going to give you some important secret tips. In order to keep these informative videos coming, please like and subscribe. It helps us so much. It's usually about a 3-hour drive from Ensenada to San Felipe. But when traveling with dogs, we like to take breaks. The drive was much more enjoyable than I expected, since the terrain and weather changed frequently. There were valleys, mountains, racing motorcycles. There was a route for wine and cheese. Yummy! That will be our next trip. There was lots of agriculture, trees, windmills. We even had a little rain. Overall, the roads were in very good condition, but there were a few parts that were really bad and we had to slow down to avoid the potholes. But there was road repair going on. As we got closer to San Felipe, everything was desert, and we could see the trails left over from the Baja races. There were 2 military checkpoints, and when we stopped, they just asked us if our dogs bite and what their names were. They asked me if I spoke Spanish. Habla español? I just held my fingers up like this, and they spoke to me in English. After the second checkpoint, we could finally see the Gulf of California, better known as the Sea of Cortez. This is the entrance to San Felipe, although it was still about 30 more minutes to get to downtown. We rented a place on a Facebook page, so we had that destination programmed into our GPS. Often we have problems with GPS in Mexico, and this time was no different. It took us 30 minutes out of our way to the airport, where we figured it out. But we got to see some great views, including the marina. We checked into our room and headed to the beach. When we got to the Malecón, we were surprised. Welcome to the Malecón in San Felipe. The ocean is green. I love it. There were no people. There were a few workers, but no tourists. We went down to the beach to go for a swim. The water was super warm, almost hot. It was so windy, there were waves. The dogs don't like waves, so I took them to a different location to swim. The water was dirty with lots of seaweed and trash. Off for a walk on the Malecón, there was one vendor, a few cars, no people, and it was windy. We headed over to the sign for a few pics and vids. Saw this very creative recycling bin for plastics. Yet I was surprised how much plastic and trash was still on the beach. We took a walk to downtown. We met a very happy street vendor selling ice cream. He was wearing a colorful shirt with roosters and told me that was his hobby. It was hot, 40 degrees C or 104 degrees Fahrenheit, but not sticky. Except for a few restaurants and curio shops, everything was closed. Bars closed. 6, which is like 7-Eleven in the United States, closed. Hotel closed. If you were into gentlemen's clubs, closed. The rowing team was closed. The launch ramp closed. The nightclub on the hill was closed, but from the looks of it, this could have been closed before COVID. They have a microbrewery in town, but you guessed it, closed. We found a place that rented ATVs that was open, but the only people we saw riding them were locals that owned them. The only activity we saw open was Mr. Banana, and there was only one boat. So we shopped for some curios. We found some of the open restaurants, so let's go eat. We first ate at Fat Boys. The pizza was great and the tequila even better. I've heard about this tequila and the bottle is expensive. I've never seen anyone sell it by the shot. It's fantastic if you ever get to try it. My favorite mariscos in Ensenada is Mariscos El Güero. I noticed they have one here in San Felipe, obviously not the same owner. But there were no customers, so we didn't go in. Mariscos Bianca had really good deals and the food was good. For breakfast, there was a crowded place called Chumpo's Pizza. The breakfast was good and lots of food. On recommendation, we came back later to try the pizza, but threw it away after 2 slices. We also had breakfast at Rosita. This place was really crowded and the breakfast was great. Steak and eggs run about $8, and they have air conditioning too. We ate here about a year ago while passing through. This was during COVID. The dogs were allowed inside, but San Felipe won't let dogs in restaurants anymore. After dinner, we stopped at a place called La Barrita Loca. I don't eat sugar, but a friend of mine had a sweet tooth. If you like sweets, this place was full. And finally, we found one restaurant that was outstanding. Taco Factory in the Malecón is an upscale place with a great sea view. I ate aguachiles, which are raw shrimp, cold, slow cooked in lime juice and spices. They were literally the best I've ever had. In the early evening, the town seemed to liven up a bit. There were people walking around and a little bit of traffic. At night, it became a ghost town. All but a few taco stands closed at 6 p.m. We saw a couple of motorcycles traveling through, but not one person walking. But the climate was perfect. The next day, we found a couple of things that got our attention, besides the great views of the sea. One day, it got so windy, the beach was empty, and Mr. Banana did not come out, nor did any people. When we were searching for lodging, hotels and Airbnb were expensive. So we decided on a Facebook group rental. When I say expensive, I mean expensive for Mexico. In all the places we have traveled to in Mexico, San Felipe is easily the most expensive. Compared to Ensenada, San Felipe was double to triple the prices. Even more when it came to lodging. Wow! Lo viste? There was so much wind, Copperhead and Monkey were unable to swim. They were getting bored and spent a lot of time looking for shade. Just as we were thinking about leaving, a bunch of birds above, fighting over a fish, dropped it directly in front of the dogs. They had a great time playing security dogs. Let's watch. One morning, we got up at sunrise to go see the low tide. On the 5-block walk, we saw a huge number of dogs. I don't know why this town is not more dog friendly, because there sure are lots of them. Thank you for watching our video. Because you watched until the end, here are some secret tips while vacationing in San Felipe. Tip number 1, don't eat at nice dogs and burgers. I told you everything but taco stands closes at 6 p.m. So we stopped here. It was bar food like boneless wings and nachos. The food was terrible and pricey, don't eat here. Tip number 2, tides. One of the amazing things about the Sea of Cortez are the extreme high and low tides. If you come, check the tide chart and try to plan your vacation around a full or new moon. It's impressive. Final tip number 3, COVID hurt this town. This place has really suffered, and it is evident from businesses trying to recuperate lost money through high prices. But the high prices are not helping anyone. And it is no longer pet friendly. There are so many wonderful places to visit in Mexico. Until San Felipe recovers from COVID, there are many, far better choices. I believe we gave you some very useful information here. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We have a link to our Patreon page in the banner and below. Thank you for watching and enjoy Mexico. Happy travels!